Hi, my name is Dallas Marsh. Welcome to my ePortfolio for ETEC590, the MET program, A Photographic Journey. This is a capstone project for the Master of Educational Technology program offered by the University of British Columbia. This ePortfolio is meant to describe my journey through the MET program over the past 2 years while sharing in my teaching philosophies and practices, my learning artifacts and reflections, as well as my pursuit in professional development as a lifelong learner. It will also serve as a requirement in satisfying the Teacher Qualification Service standards. The audience of the CP is meant to be my course instructor, my peers throughout the MET program, both current and future, that's not to forget those soon to be graduating, as well as my colleagues in education and others in the online community who are interested in educational technology. As a part of personalizing the ePortfolio, I found it necessary to select a metaphor that was meaningful to me. The metaphor I have chosen to use as a framework connecting all aspects of the EP is photography. With a professional photographer as a father, I have been captivated with the notion of telling stories and of capturing moments in time in photographs. I have been taking photographs as long as I can remember. When I was much younger, the highlight of taking photographs was being able to develop them in our darkroom at home. Since I was still learning how to manually control the camera, I never knew how they were going to turn out. Some required a little more editing in the darkroom than others. When I moved out and no longer had regular access to the darkroom, my hobby was put to the side. It wasn't until I purchased a DSLR camera that I began shooting again. It was as if I was learning all over. To take a photograph of quality, it requires a great deal of knowledge of the camera functions, of setting the scene, of camera modes, of taking the photograph, of editing, and of printing and mounting the final product. My journey through the MET program required much of the same process. You feel overwhelmed breaking out of the automatic mode, but you will quickly discover you are not alone and have others to support you in the learning process. By leaving the auto mode behind and by challenging yourself, you will inevitably experience some frustrations. But with some minor retouching, you are able to develop the photographs worthy of printing and hanging on the wall. In creating this ePortfolio, I was forced to reflect on the knowledge and skills I developed throughout the MET program. Moon suggests that with reflection, a deeper learning can occur, which helps the student to process and to transform their ideas, storing the knowledge away in a meaningful manner rather than simply memorizing the information. On all accounts, I represented the information to myself, allowing myself to reprocess it, thereby strengthening the connections between individual courses and between theories and applications. Now that you have had an overview of my photographic journey in the MET program, I would like to take you on a tour of my ePortfolio. As for navigating through the site, there are a few options. A static menu bar to the left, buttons on the bottom of the page that will take you forwards and backwards in a linear fashion throughout the portfolio, and representative photographs on the landing pages. By clicking on the menu bar, the tabs, the buttons, or the photos, you'll be redirected to that particular page. Let's begin by exploring the home page, referred to here as the camera. After all, taking photographs without one would be impossible. On this page, you'll see that there is a brief explanation of the metaphor, as well as this guided tour. And below there are representative photographs for the landing page that will redirect you to various sections throughout the site. If you continue scrolling down to the bottom of the page, you will come across the footer. This footer can be seen on all individual pages throughout the site. Let's take a look at it. Being a connected educator, I wanted to include my Twitter feed to share with all of you. It has been a great source of professional development and a great support for my PLN. Here you will also notice that there are a number of social media icons that I encourage you to use to connect with me. You will see that there are 3 disclaimers regarding the photographs, images, and embedded media, as well as a disclaimer regarding the hyperlinks. Please note, each academic reference will only be hyperlinked to the proofs the first time it is mentioned on an individual page. It is also important to note that some of the hyperlinks will only function for those that are logged into the UBC blogs. These links are intended for my instructors and for my peers within the MET program. And last but not least, you will see that I have included a Creative Commons licensing for all works found within the ePortfolio. Now let's continue exploring. Being captivated describes how the MET program grabbed my attention and what led to me selecting educational technology as my area of focus for my master's degree. Taking the photograph is the core courses I completed during the MET program. They focus on the theory and the knowledge. Editing the photographs are the elective courses. They focus on applying the theory to the context. Printing the photograph is the special courses in subject matter. They focus on how I'm bringing all the previous pages together. Then you have admiring the photographs. This will focus on the reflection and the learning that took place during the completion of this course, where all of the individual photographs throughout this ePortfolio will be brought together. Here you will also have critiquing the photographs, where I invite visitors such as yourselves to assess the ePortfolio and to provide additional feedback. You then wrap up admiring the photographs with capturing the next image. Here I will briefly outline my future intentions for professional development in continuing as a lifelong learner. You will then come to the equipment page. Here I highlight some of the resources and tools that I found useful during the completion of the MET program. The proofs is where you will find all academic references along with the references for multimedia. And lastly, the contact sheet. You will discover a variety of ways to connect with me here. Let's explore a little more in depth by visiting Taking the Photograph. As you can see, this is the landing page in which I explain the connections of taking a photograph to the core courses of the MET program. At the bottom of the landing pages, you will find a collection of photographs. These photographs are representative of the courses that are connected to the section. The photographs in the landing pages are all hyperlinked. By clicking on one of them, you will be redirected to that particular course. Let's select this photograph and see what ETEC590 brings us. The individual course pages are laid out in an identical manner. You will notice that the representative photograph is on top of the page. If you would like to see it in more detail, simply click on it and it will be enlarged, making it easier for you to see. You will also notice that there is a general reflections of the course itself, as well as a hyperlink that will redirect you to the UBC MET website for course descriptions. Following the general reflection, you will come across this divider line. It is meant to inform you that you are finished with the general reflections and are now moving on to the specific reflections of the individual artifacts. This divider line will also be used on pages with multiple artifacts. It will serve as a separation between them. As you can see, each artifact has a specific reflection dedicated to it. Other artifacts will come in the form of screen captures from a particular page on a website I had created, live websites, which are embedded in the ePortfolio, YouTube videos, and more. It is important to note that some of the images throughout the site will simply enlarge for easier viewing, while others will redirect you to a new webpage to explore. Not to worry, all external links and links to websites outside of this ePortfolio will be opened in a new tab, allowing you easy return to the ePortfolio. I'd like to take this time to thank my peers and instructors for the support and the countless discussions throughout the past 2 years. What's more is I'd like to pay a special tribute to 3 of my peers in particular that have pushed me, challenged me, and supported me when needed. To Victoria Olson, I thank you for challenging me to learn more and to step beyond my comfort zone. I will miss our many Starbucks dates. To Pamela Jones, thank you for your never-ending support And to Quentin Flockstra, thank you for all your support in collaborating, editing, and inspiring me to do just a little bit more. Without you three, my experience in the MET program would not have been the same. And a special thanks to my friends and family for supporting me throughout this photographic journey, especially Jeremy. Without your encouragement and understanding, none of this would have been possible. This brings us to the end of the guided tour. I hope you enjoy exploring my photographic journey through the MET program.